Hey there, welcome back friends. In this video we will talk about inheritance. So to start with, let us quickly create a easy to understand class, and the name of the class would be camera. Now usually when we make use of inheritance will be following the parent-child association, class subclass association. The superclass will be generalized category, generalized class, whereas the subclasses will be specific classes which will have some specific information. So let us create a general class. So it would be like class camera. Here we go. And in here, now friends, there are two things. Either we can do like this, camera colon, and as of now we will simply pass. Let me run this and this will run perfectly. There is no issue. Now let us initialize this, and it would be like define. We will define the special method which is init method. We will receive self, and in here we will simply print a message. So it would be like print modern cameras click photos and record videos. Good enough. And in here definitely we have this message. And now friends, this special method is what? This is like a constructor, and this method will be called automatically whenever we would be creating any object of this class. And definitely as we have this print statement, whenever we would be creating a object of this camera class, we will be able to see this output. Let me show you. For example, I create an object as DSLR equals camera, and we call this, we will get this output. This is cool. Now friends, take a note of it. In here we are making use of pair of parentheses. This is the way how we can create a object. Indeed, we calling in this method in order to initialize a object of camera type. Now friends, when it comes to class, we can either skip making use of parentheses, or indeed we can also make use of parentheses. Let me run this. This is optional. This making use of a parenthesis is optional, but when it comes to inheritance, the parenthesis will play an important role, which I will tell you in some time. Alright, now moving forward, what is a camera? Camera has some basic property, some general property. So whenever we make use of inheritance, usually the general stuff are inside camera. So let's do that. So in here, let us create a method. It would be like define a method, and the name would be like click. Here let us quickly print a yet another statement like camera clicks photos. Alright, let me run this, and there would be a syntax error. Now friends, when it comes to classes, adding the parentheses are optional, as I have already specified, but when it comes to method, right, we have to give parentheses. Let me run this, and now everything is good enough. Alright, so this is good. Now in here definitely we can do what? We can run this as well. We can say DSLR dot, let me make use of tab, and using this tab, what we can do, we can make use of the click method, and this will display the output. Indeed, it is not displaying any output. Why? Because we haven't passed the self parameter. Now passing the self parameter to method is important, and this is important, which we have already discussed. As a result, parentheses are indeed required and mandate. So let me run these, and here is the output. Cool enough. Alright, now moving forward, let us quickly navigate and create a yet another method in here. The name of the method could be like video, right? Pretty simple. Let's associate self, and in here we would be printing a yet another very simple message, and it would be record videos. Alright, let me run the statements, and we can definitely call in this video method. Now fair enough, till now we haven't learned anything new, but now moving forward, let us create a yet another class by the name of Canon. Now Canon brand create wonderful cameras, and usually they have the click mechanism of clicking the photos and video mechanism, and indeed we can indeed do what? We can inherit from the camera class. So in here we need not to worry about parentheses for camera class, but when it comes to Canon class, where we would like to inherit from camera, what we need to do? In here we need to make use of the camera class. Take a note of it. And as of now, we will simply make use of a pass, and let me run this, and there is no issue. Indeed, we are making use of a inheritance. Now whenever we make use of inheritance, in here definitely we will make use of constructor, and it would be like underscore underscore init underscore underscore, and we will provide the usual self parameter, and let us call in the print method, and in here we will type in Canon camera created. Good enough. Let me run this, and now in here, for example, we create a object of Canon camera type. So it could be like Canon underscore camera, based on the naming convention provided by Python, equals Canon. Here we go. And now let me run this, and it will say Canon camera created. Good enough. And if I say Canon camera dot, we will see this click and video option. Now take a note of it. We don't have a click and video option in here, but take a note of the execution. If we execute it, it does give us what? Camera clicks photo. If I type in Canon camera dot videos, it will call in the method from the parent class. This is nice. Now friends, in here, whenever we do what? Whenever we indeed inherit from a parent class, it is a good practice to also call in the init method of the parent class, right? In the init method, there might be some initialization, some business logic which we implement. As a result, in here there is a yet another best practice to call in the init method of parent class, and the way is very simple. We will make use of the name of the class, which is camera, and in here we can call in the init method. So it would be like init, and we pass in the self parameter, right? Let me run this now, and now as soon as we create an object, we see modern cameras click photos and videos, modern camera created, right? So this statement from the init method is also getting executed when we are creating a object of child class, right? So this is how things will work when it comes to inheritance under Python. We can inherit from a parent class, and basically parent class are general categories, more wider classes where we have general stuff. For example, in here, clicking photos and recording videos are general properties of every modern camera. As a result, we need not to worry about implementing these methods in our class. Alright, so likewise, similar to this, we can again create a yet another class like Sony, and let us give the name as Sony camera, and in here it would be like Sony camera created. Let me run this again. If I create a Sony camera object, and call in the Sony camera constructor. Let me run this, and again we will get the usual stuff. Modern cameras click photos and record videos. Sony camera created. Again I can call in Sony cameras, and for example we call in the click method and we get the usual stuff. So this is the convenience of inheritance. Definitely there is more to it. There is multi-level inheritance, there is multiple inheritance, there is MRO, which we will discuss in our next video. Alright, so having said this is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.